Okay, we're good on the live stream.
Kelly, you're muted, but it looks like you said yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll now call the Public Safety Committee meeting for December 12th, 2023 to order. Can I get... Oh, did I start too quick?
We're good now. Thank you.
Okay, I'll now call the meeting of the Public Safety Committee to order on December 12th, 2023. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please? Somebody's on mute. Can everybody hear me, or am I on mute?
No, I can.
Hello.
I can hear you fine, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I'll call again for a motion to approve the agenda, please.
I motion it.
Seconder? Seconder?
Second it.
There we go. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded. Motion carried. Thank you. Any conflicts of interest this morning? Okay, no conflicts of interest. We'll carry on. Item 3 on the agenda is the review of the advisory forum of December the 4th.
And I can speak to that, Mr. Chair. The advisory committee obviously met on December 4th. It was our first advisory forum that we've held under the new public safety committee structure, and I think it went quite well. It consisted of the 2 quarterly reports from the RCMP, fairly consistent reporting to what we've seen in previous reports under the old policing committee structure, and went quite quickly. I would say I was surprised at the lack of questions or comments coming from the group, but I think that's I think that's it speaks to the new membership possibly, and I think the group as a whole will probably warm up in future meetings.
People are getting pretty used to that format too, and they find it easier to go over now. At first, the first one I looked at was kind of it was kind of complex, but now that I've seen a few of them, you kind of know where to go and know what information to pick from it.
Right. Yeah, and of course there's a change as well. I believe we had a different sergeant giving the reports previously too, right? So I mean,
right.
It was a new presenter to a new audience, and I think over time people will get more accustomed to it and start possibly participating a little more during these meetings and having some specific questions that they want to raise.
Anybody else have anything to add? Okay, moving on the item 6 on the agenda is next steps. Brett, I believe you had something to add on that next steps. I think you were talking to somebody from, was it Department of Health, I believe?
Yeah, that's correct, Mr. Chair. It's item 5 actually is participants in the advisory forum. And we were approached by Daniel Declava from Emergency Measures with a suggestion that we include a Marshall Coulombe from the Department of Health. And Marshall, I'm just looking through my notes here, is the Senior Program Advisor to the Regional Medical Health Medical Officer of Health in the Central Region. And EMO felt that it would be a great benefit to the committee to have that kind of specialized knowledge sit in on the forum. I tend to agree with him, and so I certainly leave that to the committee for a decision. But the last point I would raise is the procedural bylaw does allow for it. We did outline a minimum membership for that forum, but we're free to exceed. That's only a minimum guideline. So I do leave that to the committee for discussion.
Yeah, sounds, at least they're interested, Brett. That sounds like a good idea. Anybody else have any comments, suggestions? Mr. Powell, I believe you're on mute.
we can't hear you, Bob. But you're not on mute. It must be an issue with the mic, possibly.
No, can't hear a word. Anybody else hear him?
No.
I suggest going out and then coming back in.
Chair, while we're waiting for Bob to leave and rejoin, I will say the same thing happened to me the other night at a board meeting, and it was a terrible feeling because I had a staff report I had to present, and for some reason Zoom decided that it didn't want to use my computer audio.
How good is your sign language?
Yeah, and lip reading,
Yeah.
not very good.
They used to do it pretty good when they had those COVID reports. They always had somebody signing along with them. My goodness, they were fast. I don't know how anybody could even follow it.
Oh, I know. When you think back to that, the frequency of those, it was almost daily.
Oh yeah.
That would be it was quite a pace, and it went on for 2 years, right?
Yeah, two solid years at least. Yeah. Bob, you with us again? Can you hear us? Can we hear you? I'm not hearing anything. Anybody else?
No, we can't hear you, Bob. I would suggest you leave, and you can do that by scrolling your cursor down towards the bottom of your screen, and you'll see that leave button on the right. Then try rejoining with the link that Kelly had sent to us this morning.
And if that don't work, he could call, maybe call Kelly on the phone, on the cell phone, and we could hear him that way.
Absolutely.
Because it looks like he has a lot to say.
Yeah.
I can remove him, but if I do, I don't know if he'll be able to get back in.
Bob, why don't you just give Kelly a call on the phone, maybe on her cell phone?
I understand that sign language. Looks like we're good.
Bob, can you hear me? Raise the hand if you can hear me. Yeah, you going to call Kelly? Like the old silent movies.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Chair, we had an interesting day weather-wise yesterday, didn't we?
Oh man, that was a mess. We got a lot of rain. Yeah, I had to dig the four-wheeler out after the rain stopped and get my power rake and to go out the driveway. She washed out quite a bit on the bottom.
Yeah.
Joys of living on a hill.
Listen, I had water coming into our basement yesterday, and I didn't own a sump pump, so I do now. 40,000 liters I pumped out yesterday.
Oh my God. Wow.
It was no small quantity. And I mean, it's a fairly large basement, but it was full. There was about a foot of water in there. And,
Holy jumping. Yeah.
It was interesting.
No, a lot of rain came down. It rained steady and it rained hard for a while. The ditches were right full. The streams were running. We had a washout, the usual washout down on Deerwood. The water was up over the road for probably at least a couple 100 feet anyway. And then we had same thing down on Marlow and Green in our subdivision. So the brooks and the culverts just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I was wondering. I saw a picture of that on Facebook too. There was where it had overtopped the road. But I didn't recognize the name of the road that it identified. I assumed it was where where it overflowed just past past the top of the hill where Masral Settlement Road is.
No, this was on Deerwood. The one we had, it was just down by the power station there.
Okay. Yeah,
Looks like Bob left.
Yeah, making progress. Fortunately, Kelly left too. Yeah, so no, it was wild, and trees down. I mean, thank God. And I just got my generator hooked up yesterday for the first time. The wiring for it, right? So, anyway, quite a day.
Yeah, we lost our Christmas tree at the Hanwell place. It was a 35-foot tree and a chunk of concrete that's about 3 by 4 by 2,
Oh,
and it
no.
still blew that over.
You still have it. You didn't lose it.
No, we just
it's
we lost,
still
we
there.
lost
It's
it.
just
We lost it
horizontal.
vertically.
Yeah.
We didn't have control of the vertical.
Yeah. Yeah. That's too bad.